All right, let's get into it. Today we're talking about a new family of AI models called F2LLM-2. And this isn't just another tech release, folks. It's a really bold attempt to fix some of the biggest issues in AI right now. Things like global fairness, transparency, and building a future that isn't just dominated by English. And you'll see, it uses some seriously clever tricks to get there.
But before we get into the weeds, let me ask you a question. Think about the tech you use every single day. Your search engine, that chatbot you just used for customer service, maybe a translation app. What's the secret sauce, the invisible engine that makes all of them work?
Well, the answer is a concept called text embedding. Honestly, you can think of it as the bedrock technology for pretty much all modern AI. It's basically how we turn our human language, words, sentences, ideas, into a numerical language that a computer can actually understand and work with. It's more than just a simple translation, though. It captures the meaning and the context. It's like a universal translator for the entire world of AI.
And that is exactly why this is so important. This stuff is the invisible backbone for so much of the AI we interact with. It powers semantic search that gets what you mean, not just the keywords you type. And it's crucial for advanced systems like RAG, that's Retrieval Augmented Generation, which is how chatbots can pull in real-time information to give you accurate answers.
But here's the catch. The world of these powerful AI models, these embeddings, it has a couple of really big problems. Right now, it's defined by a deep-seated bias and, frankly, a whole lot of secrecy. Let's break that down because it's super important. On one side, you have this huge English-centric bias. The biggest, baddest models out there are almost all trained and tested on English. That means they just don't work as well for, most of the world. And on the other side, you've got this transparency gap. A lot of the top developers release their models as black boxes. We can use them, sure, but we have no clue what data they were trained on or how they were actually built.
And just to give you a picture of this language imbalance, look at this. Older, powerful models trained on data that was almost entirely English and Chinese. But the folks behind F2LLM-V2 did something totally different. They built their model on a foundation that includes hundreds of languages from all over the globe. The idea wasn't just to sprinkle in a few more languages, it was to make multilingual performance a core feature right from the start.
And that second problem, the transparency gap, it's a huge deal. As the researchers behind F2LLM-V2 wrote in their report, all this secrecy basically grinds progress to a halt for the entire community. If we can't see how the best models are made, how are we ever supposed to work together to build better, more inclusive ones?
So that's the setup. You've got a biased, secretive AI world, and this is where F2LLM-V2 comes in. It was literally designed from the ground up to be the answer to these exact problems.
It's really built on three core pillars. First, linguistic inclusivity. We're talking a massive data set of 60 million samples covering 282 natural languages and even 40 programming languages. Second, computational inclusivity. It comes in 8 different sizes, so you don't need a massive supercomputer to actually run it. And third, total transparency. The team released everything, the models, the data, the code, for anyone to use, to learn from, and to build on.
And this table really shows you what that computational inclusivity means. The models go from a tiny 80 million parameters, which is perfect for running on smaller devices, all the way up to a 14 billion parameter monster for the biggest, toughest jobs. It's all about giving everyone the right tool for their specific needs.
Okay, so the philosophy is amazing. It's open, it's inclusive, fantastic. But the million-dollar question is, does it actually perform? Let's check out the results and see how this new kid on the block stacks up against the old guard.
Let's start with the Polish language benchmark. See that horizontal line on the chart? That was the previous best model, the state-of-the-art. The bars, those are the different sizes of F2LM-V2. As you can see, they don't just beat the old record, they absolutely smash it. And what's wild is that before this, there was only one other model with complete results on this benchmark, which just goes to show you how neglected some languages have been.
And this was no fluke. We see the exact same story of total dominance in Japanese. Once again, the F2LLM-V2 models just sweep the leaderboard and set a completely new standard for performance.
And let's look at one more. Persian. This isn't just about winning in major languages. Because the training data was so inclusive, the model sets new state-of-the-art records even in languages that have historically gotten way less attention from the big AI labs.
So here's the bottom line. The biggest F2LM-V2 model didn't just do well, it hit the #1 spot on 11 different official benchmarks. These are from MTEB, the Massive Text Embedding Benchmark, which is basically the Olympics for testing these models. This is a huge, huge achievement, and it proves that an open, multilingual first approach doesn't mean you have to sacrifice performance.
So we know it's incredibly powerful. But what about efficiency? I mean, in the real world, cost and speed matter. Do you really need to fire up that massive 14 billion parameter model for every little task? Well, the answer leads to one of the most brilliant features of this whole project.
It's called Matryoshka representation learning, named after those Russian nesting dolls. And the idea is just genius. The model is trained to cram the most critical information into the very beginning of its output. So what does that mean for you? It means you can just chop off the end and use a much shorter, smaller doll version of the embedding and still get amazing performance, all while saving a ton of computing cost. It's all about giving developers the flexibility to find that perfect sweet spot between power and price.
So, let's zoom out. What have we got? A family of models that's inclusive from day one, totally transparent about how it was built, and a top performer. What does all that mean for the big picture of AI?
At the end of the day, this is so much bigger than just a new piece of software. It's a massive step towards democratizing AI. By tackling those core problems of language bias and black box secrecy head-on, F2LMV2 is helping to build a future where everyone, everywhere, has a fair shot with this technology.
This project really proves something important, that an open, community-driven approach can create tools that don't just compete with, but often blow past the results from secretive industry giants. It's a powerful statement that better AI might not come from bigger companies, but from a more open world. So the question it leaves me with is, if this is what's possible, what else could we build if everyone had access to the tools?